Hi everyone, welcome to Sketch Club here at the Stark Museum of Art. Today I'm in Gallery 1 and I'm looking at this beautiful painting. This painting is done by the artist named Thomas Moran. It's called A Norther in the Gulf of Mexico. A norther is a storm, and in this painting we can see the rough seas. Looking even closer at this painting, we can see the storm clouds, and then we see rain coming down over here. And right above the rough seas, we can see just a hint of light where it's either a sunrise or a sunset. And we see the white caps of the rough seas here and the spray coming off. And if you look even closer, you can start seeing some debris. Maybe it's from a shipwreck. We also can see a bird over here. I like this kind of perspective where the closer you look, the more you see in this painting. I think it would be fun if we created our own storm picture, adding in some special details. Let's head to the studio. All right, to get started with this project, you'll need a piece of paper and a pencil and your imagination. All right, we're gonna turn our paper horizontal to get started because this is the best format for landscape pictures here. And I'm gonna start with our waves. Remember in the picture, there was a storm, so my waves are gonna be big waves. Not very realistic, but just kind of big waves. And now what I wanna do is draw some more waves down my picture. And I'm gonna start them off by being very close together like this. But as I go down, they're gonna be farther apart. This will help us give the illusion of distance. Okay, so this will be far away and this will be closer. And see how I'm just spacing the next line, just a little bit more space in there. Excellent. As I'm going down my paper and I'm just repeating my lines. Now, what I want you all to think about doing in your picture is as we're drawing these lines, we're gonna start adding some things into this picture. The picture we saw in the gallery had maybe something like a shipwreck and there was some wood and debris in there. We're gonna add different things into our pictures too, because that's what makes it so interesting is when we can look at it, the more we look, the more we see. So we have our waves and they're closer together and then they get farther apart. Now, because this was the storm, I'm gonna add some storm clouds. They again are not gonna be very realistic. They're gonna be puffy, circular clouds, because whenever there's a storm, a lot of times these clouds are really high and very puffy clouds. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna do another cloud over here. All right, now because these are storm clouds, I'm gonna shade in the bottom of my clouds just like this. So you can tell that they're full of that moisture and that rain that will be coming out of them. I think I might even add a little strike of lightning, just so when people are looking at my picture, they understand that it is a storm. Hopefully you've been thinking about what you want to add into your picture. First thing I want to add to my picture is maybe a boat. And I'm going to do that somewhere in the middle of all my waves. And just like that, just a little bit of the boat we can see, and then I'm gonna do the sail, because let's say it's a sailboat, like that. Great, and you can do, again, whatever you want to your piece of paper. I'm gonna erase some of these waves I see in mine through the sail here. Nice and easy there. And I might even kind of shade in my sail just a little. Okay, my boat might have some windows. Great. Now I'm thinking more, what else am I gonna put in my picture? I really like looking at the picture that we saw in the gallery, and the harder I looked, the more things I saw. So when I look at mine, I can see the clouds and the waves and a boat, but I might even want to hide some different objects in mine. And I might do a big octopus over here, something unexpected. I might add, oh, maybe there's a shark fin somewhere in my sea. Let's do one right over here. Something unexpected. Color that in a little bit. All right, I'm gonna add a few more things into my picture here, and when we come back, you can see what I've added to mine, okay? All right, I went ahead and darkened my clouds here to make them look a bit more ominous. I also added in some fun things into mine, like a spaceship and just some different elements I shaded in my octopus so it can really pop out. This was really fun, hiding all the different objects in here. I even have a little mermaid's tail down here. I bet you guys can come up with some really cool things too to put in yours. I hope you enjoyed getting creative with me today. I'll see you next time for SMA Sketch Club.